Hello everyone, Kirk here with Kirk's Motorrad shop in Crystal Lake, Illinois, bringing you a do-it-yourself video. I've made this video once before. However, there was some information in there that has caused some confusion, and that is most of the confusion came on these seals. Now in that video I showed these brown seals, okay? They are the same physical dimension as as the originals. They do not have a protruding lip right here. But anyways, these are really just they're just shaft seals, okay? Not designed for high pressure. If you use these $8 seals, they will immediately fail. I'm telling you, they're going to fail. As soon as you take the handlebars and you move the handlebars quick, it just will squirt out all over the place, and you've got yourself a failure. So these are the original OEM seals that belong inside the damper. They're hard to come by. They're very expensive. If you want some of these seals, I will sell them to you for the cost. The cost on these, at the current time that I'm making this video, these things are $45 a piece. So plus the shipping to the US, you're looking at pretty much $95, and that's going to be with tracked shipping for 2 seals. It's ridiculous. It's just stupid expensive, and I fully realize that. But if you want these seals, I do have a supply of them, and I can sell you a set of seals. So what I have here is, your typical steering damper, and if your steering damper has that end on it right there with the little screwdriver end, you can rebuild that damper. Now there's other dampers out there that don't have this end on it. I have not had one of those dampers in my hands yet, so I don't know how to rebuild that one yet. I'm gonna just say that if I ever do get one of those dampers in and I can try to rebuild that thing, I'll make a video on it as to whether it is good or bad, if it's a fail or if it's a success. But anyways, I'm gonna rebuild this steering damper. Now when you get that off of your bike, go and clean it up really good. I've cleaned this one up as good as I can. There's still some dirt on the outside of it that really just doesn't come off, and I cleaned up these areas in here as best as I could. I'm going to clean this stuff a little bit better once I get this unit apart, but just wanted to show it right now. So we're going to start doing these. I'm not going to use these. These are going to be, well, they're going to be in the garbage. I bought a supply of those, and I regret my decisions sometimes. And if you use those seals, you will regret your decision as well. So what I'm going to do here is put this in my clamp, and I'm going to try to loosen this off. If this doesn't loosen, I'll put this part in the clamp and then loosen this up. But let me show that right now. So use some non-marring vise jaws, okay? You definitely don't want to screw that thing up. And I'm going to just loosen this part off here just a little bit. Okay. I just want to make sure that is loose. And I'm going to flip it over, put it back in the vise, and then I'm going to take a 13mm wrench, which you can't see. There we go. Take a 13mm wrench, put it on here, and then we'll start turning this. Okay, that's all loose now. All right, pull the end off of here. And then grab this part and this part together and spin this cylinder out of here and remove it. Inside there's going to be a little like a little plunger. We'll take that out in a minute. I'm going to take it now and just dump out whatever's left in here and run this thing in and out. Try to get it as emptied as I can. So the way that these units will come apart is you have to remove this little ball joint that's on the end of this. I think it's a Heim joint. Anyways, you remove this lock nut, and then this whole unit will pass through. But you have to remove this seal first. And we're going to do that by taking our snap ring pliers and getting them going in the right direction. There we go. And pull the snap ring out first. Okay. And then there's a little washer right on the washer on here. Pull that washer off. I got the wrong tools. Okay. There's no upside or downside on this washer. You can just set it back in when you're ready. Now we have our seal. Okay. So you can just take a screwdriver or anything at this point, and just don't mar up the body too bad, but just peel that sucker right out of there. There we go. Now there's a little silver, or a bronze, I should say, a bronze valve that's inside there. Pop that out. And just take a note of the valve itself. There's a thick side on here, and then there's a very thin side. That thick side goes to the outside. It goes to the seal, okay? So just take a note. Now, I'm going to put this back in the vise, and I'm going to remove this ball joint off of this part. And so this is a 13 millimeter. I believe this is a 12. No, it's a 14. So you got a 13 and a 14. Okay. So just take your 13, your 14, and there we go. Start spinning that off. So go ahead and remove the joint that's at the end. And then pull off the lock nut. And now what you do is you just take this and you push it all the way through. There we go. And just notice also which end it goes in, okay? So the short end is where that's going to pass out of. And just set that down, set it aside. Now we can access the other seal that's in there. So same procedure. I'm going to remove the lock ring, snap ring, and the little washer, and then we'll pull out the seal. There's the seal. And there is that other valve. Now you don't need to pull out that other valve. There's really no need to. If it does come out, just put it back in. You don't have to mess with that. So let's go ahead now and reinstall our brand new seals. Be careful with them. They're $45 a piece, and you don't want to have to buy them again. So we're going to set that in there. Start pushing it in a little bit with your fingers. And then you take an appropriate sized socket. In this case, this is a 13mm socket. It fits very nicely on there, and it will go inside the body, okay? So that way it doesn't bang up anything. And we're just going to gently drive that seal in. Drive it right down to the bottom where it stops. It goes in very easily. Just like it was made for it, in fact. Because, you know what? It was made for it. So, some of you guys out there, while I'm working on this right now, are thinking to yourself, I'm just going to go ahead and chance it with those $5 seals or those $8 seals. Well, that's on you. For me, spending 90 bucks, 95 bucks, whatever, on the correct seals on this piece of safety equipment, that's worth it to me. I'm going to do that. And that's what I'm going to recommend you do. So go ahead and set that silver ring back on there. And then take one of your snap rings. Let's clean it up. There you go. And we're going to then reinstall the snap ring. If you want me to rebuild your damper for you, I will certainly do that. You can send it to me. Just contact me at Kirk's Motorrad. Even if you want to buy the seals, contact me at kirksmotorrad.com, and I will set you up and get these sent right out to you. Anyways, so now we have the new seal installed. We're going to take our piston, put that back in. Alright. Once you get everything back in its place here, you want to take your little valve and put that in the way it came out. And pop that in. We're going to take our new seal, set that in. Now you can put this in your vise if you want, or in my case, just because I can, I've got a hole right here in the bench. I can just lay that on. Take our socket and then drive this back down until it hits the bottom. And we take our washer, set the washer on there, and pop the snap ring back in. Okay, now we can put our end on here. So put the lock nut on. And then take your behind joint, put that back on, ball joint, and then we're going to snug that up, okay? Now we're going to fill this back up with 7.5 weight oil. If you don't have 7.5 weight, you can probably get away with using some ATF of any brand or kind, whatever. It's about the same weight. So what I do here is I just mix up some 10 weight and some 5 weight that equals 7.5, 50-50 mix. You can also buy 7.5 weight. It's fork oil or suspension fluid. It's going to all do the same thing. If you put heavier weight in here, like if you put a 10 weight, it's going to slow down the action a little bit more than you want. And a 5 weight, it's going to be a little bit too light. So just, you know, 7.5 is kind of where it's at on this. And what I like to do is I move this about in the center, okay? Here's closed all the way, here's open all the way. Somewhere in the middle, start filling this thing up. And then you take and you pull this down and it will start to draw that in and just kind of exercise it a little bit. And that fluid will start making its way down to the bottom as it passes through everything here. And you'll start working out the air. You'll see some little bubbles and stuff coming out. All right. Now I extend it all the way out and fill it back up now the rest of the way. Now we take our end here, and it still has that little plunger inside there. So I'm going to push that out. There it is. There's our plunger. And if you're confused as to which end goes in, what you can do is just try to thread your little screw cap on one end. And as long as it starts threading in, you know which end is the outer end. It won't thread into that side. So with this being now full up, I think I pulled it down, so yep. Felt my hand getting wet, so I'm going to fill this back up the rest of the way. There we go. I'm going to set this inside there. It's going to leak out the top because you're taking up a little bit more volume. And I'm going to just screw this down till it hits the bottom. Okay. Now I'm going to take my little plunger thing, set that in the end, and then take the end cap and put that on. I'll wipe it up here a little bit. Now the last thing you want to do is I'm just going to set this right here in the end of my in the end of my vise, so when I tighten this down it doesn't spin around. And I'm just going to snug up the end of this. Not a whole lot. I'm not going to really crank down on that. There's no reason to. And that's it. So I'm going to wipe it up here. Wipe up my mess. And then we're going to just test it out. Okay. So when you move it slowly in, it should move pretty easy. But when you move it quickly, it will stop or really dramatically slow down, like if you push it hard. But slow is nice and easy, and then as you get faster, it will lock up. That's what you want for your steering damper. That's how you get it done. If you're looking for these seals and you want them from me, by all means, hit me up at kirksmotorrad.com and we will set you up and get a set out to you. Also, if you need these little foams that go on these ends, you know, there's those little foam pieces. I do have some in stock as well. They're going to be $5 a piece, so if you need 1 or 3 of them, let me know in the message and I'll get you the appropriate price. It's not going to add anything to shipping, of course. So it'd be $95 plus if you need these foams. So just let me know. Prices may change. As of making this video, that's what the price is. Hopefully, God willing, they won't go up any higher. Those seals used to be like $33 a piece. Now they're $45. It's just stupid. So, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you need those seals, let me know. Leave a comment down below. I'll see you on the next one.